Hi, this is Dr. Ruben. So in the previous session, we have discussed about generation of single phase AC. So in this current session, we will study how to generate three phase AC using a three phase alternator. So first let us start with the construction of three phase generator. Not the practical generator, just to explain you the concept. We shall discuss about a theoretical generator. So generator has two parts, stator and rotor. All the stationary parts together called the stator and all the rotating parts together called the rotor. The stator comprises of stator frame, stator core and stator winding. And the rotor comprises of rotor core and rotor winding. In addition to that, we have slip rings and brushes. So these are the parts of a three-phase generator. So in the stator we have stator frame. The stator frame is the outer covering of the machine. It is cylindrical in construction. It protects all the inner parts against mechanical damage. And the part which is next to stator frame is the stator core. The stator core is fixed to the inner periphery of the stator frame. Stator core is also cylindrical in construction. So just look at the diagram. I have shown stator frame where we can see 6 projected teeth. There are 6 projected teeth. A dash, B dash, C dash. There are 6 teeth. And over the teeth, the coils are wound. So the teeth accommodate the stator coils. So look at the labeling of teeth. So here it is A. In opposite to that we have A dash. So this is the first phase, A phase teeth. And then after 120 degree we are having B. From here, if you move 120 degree in the anti-clockwise direction, we can find B. And opposite to B, we have B dash. And from B, if you move 120 degree in the anti-clockwise direction, you can find C. And opposite to that, we have C dash. Is it clear? So we can see another type of stator core. So this is next type of stator core where we have slots. Instead of projected teeth, we will be having slots. And the stator winding is accommodated in the slots. Similar to the previous case. Here also the slots are named. There are 6 slots. The slots are named. So A dash are opposite to each other where we will be placing the A phase winding. And if you move 120 degree in the anti-clockwise direction, we can find the B slot. B and B dash are opposite to each other. In those slots, we will be keeping the B phase winding. And if you move 120 degree from B in the anti-clockwise direction, we can find C. C opposite to that we have C dash, and these 2 slots accommodate C phase winding. So windings are accommodated in the slots of the stator core. The stator core is cylindrical in construction, fixed to the inner periphery of the stator frame. So next to that we will be having stator winding. So first in projected teeth type of stator, how to place the stator winding. So this is the projected teeth. We have 6 teeth, A dash, B dash and C dash. I am going to explain only one phase winding, A dash. So one coil has to be placed above the teeth A. So I am placing this coil, copper coil, which is having more number of turns, are inserted into the teeth A. And another coil having certain number of turns has to be inserted in A dash. So we have two coils, coil A and coil A dash, inserted across opposite teeth. Now these two coils has to be connected in series. So these two coils are connected in series to form an winding. So this is the A phase winding. Similarly, we have to place another pair of coil along B and B dash. B and B dash coils are connected together to form B phase winding. And C and C dash coils are connected in series to form C phase winding. So we have to repeat this for B phase as well as C phase. Next, if you have slotted type of stator core, I will show you the winding. So I have shown a single turn coil, single turn rectangular coil, where we have only two conductors. Say from A we have first conductor, and the second conductor should go to A dash, and this portion is the overhang portion, and these are the end connections of the coil. So we have to assume cylindrical construction. Just imagine it will be a cylinder. The stator core will be a cylinder. So the stator windings are accommodated in the slot. I have shown only one winding. This is the A phase winding. Similarly, we will be having B phase winding and C phase windings. And next is the rotor core. So this is a two-pole rotor. The projected poles are mounted on a heavy magnetic wheel. At the middle we have an keyway to allow shaft to pass through it. And there are two projected poles. One will act as north pole, other will act as south pole. And the rotor core is capable of rotation along the shaft. Next is the rotor winding. So a copper wire is wound over the rotor core like this, and the other end comes out like this. So the ends of the coil, the ends of the copper coil has to be connected to DC supply or connected to battery. So that DC supply is called excitation. The rotor winding is also called as exciting winding, or we can call it as field winding because it produces magnetic field. So when you connect DC supply to this rotor winding, which is wound over the rotor core, it produces north pole along one end and south pole along the other end. So in the figure we can able to see the shaft. At one end of the shaft we have two slip rings. The shaft will passes through the keyway, and both ends of the coil or both ends of the rotor winding are connected to the two slip rings, because rotor is rotating part and we have to give supply from a stationary battery. So we have to use slip rings. So the shaft has two slip rings and the ends of the rotor winding has to be connected to the two slip rings. And the slip rings will also rotate along with the rotor because both are mounted on the same shaft. Then from taking, for giving supply to the slip rings, we use brushes. Normally carbon brushes are used. You can see brush here. Carbon brushes are used to collect current from the slip rings. The carbon brushes are pressed above the slip rings, and the carbon brush is stationary while the slip rings are rotating. It is used for giving supply to the rotor winding. So we have seen there are three stator winding: R phase winding, Y phase winding, and B phase winding, or we can say A phase winding, B phase winding, and C phase winding. The phases can be named as either A, B, C, or R, Y, B. Letter R, Y, B can be used, or we can use A, B, C. So there are three windings in the stator core. But in a generator, there will be only 3 output terminals or 4 output terminals. So if you have 3 windings, how many terminals are there? Each winding will be having 2 terminals. So there will be 6 terminals. But output side, we want only 3 connecting terminals or 4 connecting terminals. So the 3 windings should be connected properly to take only 3 output terminals. So there are 2 types of connecting stator winding. One is delta connection, other one is star connection. Look at the first diagram, and this is delta connection. The 3 windings are connected in triangular fashion. Look at the 3 windings. The 3 windings are connected in triangular fashion. And from the corners of the 3 triangle, we have taken 3 terminal wires. From the first corner, A phase, second corner B phase, and third corner C phase. Okay. So now here in this delta connection or in 3-phase connection, when you refer voltage, there are 2 voltages. One is the line voltage, another one is the phase voltage. One is line voltage, another one is phase voltage. Line voltage is the voltage measured between 2 phase conductors. Line voltage is the voltage measured between 2 phase conductors. For example, if you measure the voltage between this phase A conductor and phase B conductor, between these 2, it is called line voltage, V line. V line is the line voltage which is measured between any 2 phase. Or if you measure between phase B conductor and phase C conductor, that is also line voltage. If you measure between phase A conductor and phase C conductor, that is also line voltage. But what is phase voltage? The voltage measured across the winding. You can see here, it is denoted V phase. Voltage measured across the winding is called phase voltage. So in the present case, look at this phase voltage. Voltage measured between these 2 points. Same as line voltage. So in delta connection, line voltage is equal to phase voltage. Clear? And another thing, there are 2 currents, line current and phase current. The current which is flowing through this phase conductor, the current which is flowing through this phase conductor is the phase line current. And the current which is flowing through this winding is the phase current. Current flowing through this winding is the phase current, and current flowing through this conductor, phase conductor, is the line current. And in case of delta, the current from these 2 windings joins and flows here. So the line current is different from phase current. Actually, the relationship between line current and phase current is line current is root 3 times of phase current. Line current is root 3 times of phase current. We will discuss later how that line current becomes root 3 times of phase current later. Okay. And the next type of connection is star connection. In star connection, one end of all the three windings are connected together. We can see one end of all the three windings are connected together, and that point forms the neutral point. And the other end of the three windings forms the phase terminus. This is phase A, phase B and phase C. So there will be four output terminals. That means phase A, phase B, phase C, as well as, if you want, we can take neutral also. If you ground the neutral, we will be having only three output terminals. Otherwise, we can take four output terminals, three phases, and a neutral can be taken out in star connection. But in delta connection, there is no possibility of taking neutral connection. Okay. Now let us discuss in star connection difference between line voltage and phase voltage. So I told earlier, what is line voltage? Line voltage is the voltage measured between any two phase conductors. If you measure the voltage between phase A conductor and phase B conductor, it is line voltage. V line is the voltage measured between phase A and phase B. Or it can be the voltage measured between phase B and phase C. Or it can be the voltage measured between phase A and phase C conductor. That is line voltage. What is phase voltage? Voltage measured across the winding. So in this case, voltage measured across the winding, you can see here, V phase, voltage measured across this winding is not equal to line voltage, because we are measuring the voltage between neutral point and the phase conductor. We are measuring the voltage between this neutral point and this phase conductor. So phase voltage is different from line voltage. The relationship between those two are line voltage equal to root 3 into phase voltage. Line voltage equal to root 3 into phase voltage. So how it is root 3 into phase voltage, I will explain later. And what about line current and phase current? What is line current? Line current is the current flowing through the phase conductor. This current flowing through the phase conductor is the line current. What is phase current? Current flowing through the winding. The current flowing through this winding is phase current. So this current flowing through the winding flows through line. So in the star connection, phase current is equal to line current. Line current and phase current are same. Is it clear? So I repeat, in delta connection, the three windings are connected in triangular fashion, and the corners, from the corners of the triangle, we will be taking the three phase conductors, and there is no possibility for neutral. And here, line voltage is the voltage measured between any two phase conductors, and phase voltage is the voltage measured between any two terminals of the winding. Here, when you measure phase voltage across these two terminals, it will be same as line voltage. Phase voltage equal to line voltage. But line current is not equal to phase current. Line current is the current flowing through this conductor, and phase current is the current flowing through this winding. The phase currents from these two windings combines to form this line current. So line current is equal to root 3 times phase current. And here, line current and phase current are same. Current flowing through the winding flows through the line. So phase current is same as line current. But line voltage is not equal to phase voltage. Line voltage is the voltage measured between any two phase conductors, but phase voltage is the voltage measured between one phase conductor and neutral point. That is the voltage across this winding. Okay. So this shows the full setup which I explained earlier. The stator core is having 6 projected teeth. You can see there are 6 projected teeth. A phase winding, B phase winding and C phase windings are shown in different colors. A phase is shown by green color between opposite phases. B phase shown as blue color. C phase shown as red color. and in between we have rotor which is having north pole and south pole, two pole rotor. So when the rotor is rotated, the magnetic flux produced by the poles links with the stator winding. When the poles are rotating, the flux linking with the stator winding changes and EMF is produced. So when the rotor is rotating in anti-clockwise direction, first the north pole of the rotor cuts the A phase winding. So A phase winding reaches maximum value first. Then 120 degree after that we have the B phase winding. So after 120 degree the north pole reaches B phase winding. So B phase winding reaches 120 degree after A phase reaches its maximum. Then from B phase, after rotating again 120 degree, north pole reaches the C coil. So C coil reaches a maximum value 120 degree after VB. So the three voltages in the three phase windings are not same, magnitude are same, but angle will be shifted by 120 degree. The three, look at the waveform, the three voltages are having same magnitude, but angle is shifted by 120 degree, because the coils are shifted by 120 degree. After A coil, 120 degree phase shift is given to B coil. After B coil, 120 degree phase shift is given to C coil. That is what I explained earlier. So we will see a small demonstration here. Here the stator core is having slots, and in the slots we are going to keep the three coils, single turn coil. We are going to keep three single turn coil, and the single turn coils are going to be connected in star. That means one end of all the three coils should be connected together to form the neutral point, and the other 3 points forms the phases RYB, or we can say ABC. Okay, when the rotor rotates, an alternating voltage is generated in all the three phases, which are phase shifted by 120 degree. So look at this demo. So here is the stator core. We have 6 slots. First we have placed the A phase coil in the slot, then the B phase coil. One end of A phase and B phase coil are connected together. Now the C phase coil, red one end of red coil is also connected together with green and yellow. So the conductors of the coil are placed in opposite slot. Now the rotor core, 2 poles, north and south poles, and coil is wound across the pole, and for giving connection from positive and negative of the battery, we are using slip rings and brushes. You can see there are 2 slip rings which are rotating, and there are 2 brushes which gives positive and negative connection from the battery excitation supply. Look at the generated voltage. It is sinusoidal, but the 3 voltages are having 120 degree phase shift. So the generated voltage. So as I told earlier, we can call the phases as A, B, C or RYB, red, yellow, blue. So to differentiate using colors, I am using RYB, red, yellow, blue. The phase voltage in R phase equation is Vm sin omega t, because the north pole cuts the R phase winding first or the A phase winding first. So the generated voltage is Vm sin theta. Then it meets Y phase winding or the B phase winding after 120 degree. So there will be a lag of 120 degree in B phase winding or Y phase winding. So voltage at the Y phase or B phase is Vm sin theta minus 120. Again after 120 degree phase shift comes the blue phase winding, B phase winding or C phase winding. So Vm sin omega t minus 240. Clear? So how to represent it using phasor? Normally R phase is taken as reference. So that red phasor denotes A phase or R phase. Y denotes B phase or Y phase, and blue denotes C phase or B phase. So RYB, or we can call it as ABC. Both can be interchangeably used. So from R phase, Y phase makes an angle of 120 degree. From Y phase, B phase makes an angle of again 120 degree. So R phase is taken as a reference. Y phase lags the R phase by 120 degree and B phase lags the R phase by 240 degree. Or in other ways, if you measure angle of blue phase in anti-clockwise direction, it will be 120 degree from the red. Anti-clockwise angle measurement is taken as positive. So instead of writing Vm sin omega t minus 240, we can write Vm sin omega t plus 240 also. Sorry, plus 120 also. So look at the B phase. It is Vm sin omega t minus 240. If you measure in clockwise direction, the blue is 240 degree from the red. Or we can say in anti-clockwise direction 120 degree from red. So either we can write Vm sin theta minus 240, or you can write Vm sin theta plus 120. And how to express it in polar form? The RMS value equal to maximum value divided by root 2. So for R phase, maximum value divided by root 2 is the magnitude and angle is 0 because that is the reference. For Y phase, magnitude is Vm by root 2, that is the RMS value, and angle is minus 120 degree. For B phase, magnitude is Vm by root 2, angle is minus 240 or plus 120. We can either write minus 240 or we can write plus 120 as I explained from the phasor diagram. Okay, so from an alternator we can generate 3-phase AC supply, and the 3 phase voltages are displaced by 120 degree because the 3 windings are displaced from each other by 120 degree. Thank you.